open the Southwest Vermont Supervisory Union Board of Directors meeting of March 27, 2019. Sorry that we're a few minutes late. Item number 1 on the agenda is reorganization of the board and appointment to committees.
Make a motion, Leon Johnson be chair.
Okay, I have a nomination for Leon Johnson. Is there a second?
Well, I was gonna decline it because I had a motion. I was gonna nominate Fran.
So if you, so you're declining the nomination?
Right, for the chair. I don't mind being the vice, but I didn't want to,
Okay.
I wanted somebody from.
All right, so nominations are in order for the chair. Are there any nominations for the chair?
Fran Kenny is the chair.
Is there a second to that nomination?
I'll second it.
Okay, are there any other nominations for chair?
I'll just throw it out. I nominate Dick France. Anybody would second that?
Okay, is there a second for Dick France?
I'll second it.
Okay. Are there any other nominations before I close nominations? Hearing none, I'm gonna, because I have more than one,
Balance.
yeah. Richard, the two candidates are?
Fran and Dick France.
Thank you. Renee, will you come up with me to verify as I read these?
And they need some extra paper.
I can hear Dick now.
Yeah. Sure.
Thank you. Franken?
Yes.
Fran Kinney? Fran Kinney? Dick France? Dick France? Let's see how this is going. Dick France. So we have 3-3. Okay.
We have one.
There we go. Now you got
We
it.
got to break the tie now.
They'll forget. How do we do this?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna call for a revote rather than put, you know, the new person. We have a two-way tie for chair. We have three votes for Dick France and 3 votes for Fran Kinney. So
Okay,
So we're gonna revote
okay,
by ballot.
my ballot.
okay.
That's okay.
He's doing that because he just had a lot of paper.
You know, do we revote, just to be clear, but I want to make sure I'm following procedure. Do we revote it, or am I calling for nominations a second time?
Revote.
You're
Just-
re-voting. What we
okay.
had was a draw.
Yeah.
And
All right.
then we had amendments. This-
I'm gonna
So,
tear these up. This is the ones from the first, so that hand them to Richard, so that I'm not
Collect on your way back.
and I'll collect as I come by. Thank you. Now, Dick France isn't here, so we hope he'll, you know, if it's him, that he accepts. That's the only concern.
Hey,
if you don't show up.
we could be doing this again next month.
Okay. Frank Kinney. People need the right figure. Frank Kinney. Dick France. Dick France. Dick France. Okay, so that would be 4-3. So since Dick France is not here, normally I would turn the meeting over to the chair, so I'm gonna move on to nominations for vice chair, who then I will ask to run the meeting. Nominations are in order for the vice chair of the SVSU Board of Directors. Any nominations for vice chair?
I would nominate Leon Johnson.
Leon, is there a second?
I second
Motion made and seconded. Are there any other nominations for the vice chair of the SVSU? Any other nominations? Hearing none, then I will ask for a raise of hands rather than a ballot vote. All in favor of Leon Johnson, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Last, but any opposed? No. Any abstentions? Okay, so Leon, you are the vice chair. Would you mind coming up here and conducting the rest of the meeting, please?
On my way up, thank you. I just hope next month, Dick France accepted that we can have another vote.
So all we need to do now is clerk and the chair will do the committee nominations at a later date.
Right. Okay, thank you again. At this time, for officers, we'll take a nomination for a clerk. For
I nominate Ed.
Ed,
I can't have an alternate.
he's the not,
I can.
So you may not be here every meeting.
right. Any more nominations? Where's my list here?
Dick's not here.
Well, I mean, we have Ed as a lieutenant. Well, Charlotte,
it.
you here?
I am.
Here. Somebody nominate you for the clerk. I mean, I hate for somebody to do something this.
I'll nominate Dan Monks.
Dan?
If he doesn't want it, he can decline it.
I second.
Open it right down the line.
Got a nomination for Dan Monk for
I
clerk,
second.
and we have a second.
Yes, sir.
Are there any more nominations for clerk? Hearing none. Just an acclamation, or by just all in favor? Just by aye, opposed, and extensions, none. Okay, Dan. Thank you for taking that, Dan. The next item on the list is, that's all.
That's
Yeah.
it, yeah. Because it's just committee assignments, but the chair will do that.
So tonight, we have, just to make sure that we go through things, just briefly, the way it's supposed to go is that we have an agenda item. We've covered the reorganization, and the next items are public comments, introduction to our curriculum director, which is item 2. We have finance is a number 4 with some items under that require some actions to be taken, and we'll go through those. We have a consent agenda. We have no policies tonight, and we have a superintendent's report, and we had a chair's report for the evaluation report to be given by Dick France, and he's not here tonight, so we'll waive that until next time so that he can do that. And then we have others and some FYI items. So if that is the agenda that we'll go through tonight, unless someone has some additional things to be added on, you can do that right now. And if we need to rearrange them, we can still rearrange some things later. Hearing none? Okay, we'll proceed then with public comment. Are there anyone that would like to express a public comment? No. Hearing and seeing none, then we'll move on.
So you'd allow me, Mr. Acting Chair, to introduce
Yes.
our new Director of Curriculum, Instruction, and Assessment. She's not new to our district. She has previously been our data coach. So Melissa Cenacle, and as I expect all new administrators, as they come up to the microphone and welcome themselves. I hope she's rehearsed her brief bio to introduce herself to the board.
I want to thank all of you for inviting me here tonight and this opportunity to speak to you, and I hope it's not the last time that all of us get to speak. I hope it's just the beginning of getting to speak. I am Melissa Cenacle, and I am a proud graduate of Mount Anthony Union High School, and I have done all of my education here in Bennington. Went away for a while to become a teacher somewhere else in New Hampshire, and then I'm happily returning to my hometown and my little piece of Vermont to give and serve. And this was what was taught to me by my parents, my role models, educators also. And I'm very happy to be here. I'm appreciative of the fact that we have some amazing teachers in this district, some amazing paraeducators, phenomenal custodians that I just got to say hello to a few of them. Some people who really care about making sure that every bit, whether it's when you walk in the door and it's the secretary that greets you, to the person that's serving the food to our students. We have a phenomenal group of people that work in this district. I'm very proud to support and serve them in my role of curriculum instruction and assessment. I'm excited to take this role on and to continue with some of the great work that I think that we've already started when I was previously in the role of data coach. And I love the collaboration that I get to do with many members of central office who I would value also that want to serve all of the students in this community. And so I give you as a life of service that I'm back trying to give to my hometown and my home communities all of my experience, and I have more to learn and I want to give more. So thank you for the opportunity to just say hello. If you wanted to know more about my education or whatever, I can give you my resume or any of that. But at this point, it's just I want you to know that I'm a hometown girl who's returned, and I'm really pleased to be here. And I want to work really, really hard and to give to the kids in this community like I had when I was growing up here. So thank you.
We're fortunate you took the position. We're glad.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Anyone have any questions from Melissa?
No, we'll let her off the hook this time.
Just wanted to say welcome.
It's okay.
And we'll be seeing a lot of you
hope so.
here. We have some challenges in the district to be converting over, here to take over that job. So I expect to be hearing from you a lot.
Good.
Okay.
I'll be here. Thank you
Well,
very much.
thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Okay. Item number 4 is finance operations and its related items. We have treasurer's report for February, and that report just needs to be accepted.
I'll move it.
Second.
It's been moved and second. Now it's an opportunity for discussion for any questions, concerns with the treasurer's report. Hearing none, then all in favor of the motion to accept the treasurer's report as submitted, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? On extension? None. Okay, thank you. The next item on finance is B, and we have a food service contract extension in the works, and we have a nomination for
Renee
that.
is here to answer any questions that they may have on that.
And yeah, Renee is here to answer any questions. The food service group meet every so often in this same building, I think.
We do.
Here to discuss various items, and they're still looking for more people to be part of the food service committee. So that's not part of the nomination, but that's, I wanted to watch how I was getting ready to read that. I thought I'll give that opportunity to say that they need more members out there. Okay, a food service contract extension. You wanna move, there's a motion,
So moved.
Second.
it's been moved and second. And because we're on camera, we need to read it.
Yeah, so what I
Renee.
handed out before is just an excerpt from our contract, which is actually comprised of a federal document. So there's a reference in Article 1, Item 1.3. So even though when we go out to bid, we're asking for a 5-year contract, legally we can only contract with the food service company for a year at a time. So as we are approaching the conclusion of our 3rd renewal, this would be number 4, and then we'll have one more beyond that, but we have to do it on an annual basis. The Food Service Advisory Committee did discuss how the food service management company is doing at our January meeting. And through those discussions, the committee unanimously recommends that we continue with the Abbey Group.
Okay. I think everybody that I know of that had something to do with food in the community and in terms of all the schools are pretty happy. So the extension is on the floor, and the comments that the food committee reviewed everything is a proper. So we have a motion and a second. And now we had some discussion. We have any other? Not. We're all in favor. Just by saying ayes.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any extension? No.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank the food service for doing a good job.
Great job.
Yep. Procedure for the execution of contracts.
You've seen this at all your individual board meetings. This is the motion that needs to be read tonight. This is a request from our auditors that the boards in the past hadn't officially designated me or my designee to sign contracts. We're not talking about employment contracts. The board still signs that, but by the definition of our auditor, even a purchase rec is a contract, which Renee and I routinely sign, but boards need to make that motion. So the
Right.
auditors will be happy.
I'll, I guess, read this one. The motion is to authorize the superintendent or his or her designee to execute on behalf of the Southwest Vermont Supervisory Union purchase orders agreement for consulting services, grant agreements, and other contracts arising affecting the routine operation of the supervisory union. The superintendent or the designee shall not execute any contracts resulting from a public bid process. Any employment agreements and any long-term contracts without express authority from the board. And so that is the motion part.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and second. And this, as Jim indicated, was that thing that our auditors wanted to make sure that we had in place so that we be legally covered for those items. Any discussions concerning? Cam, okay, none, hearing none, all in favor? Ayes?
Aye.
Any opposed? None. Any abstentions? No. Okay, thank you. So you're all set there. The item D on the contract is Southwest Vermont Central Office Lease Agreement. And this agreement, I'm on Mount Anthony. We did it at Mount Anthony. We didn't do it here.
Renee
Okay,
can address your questions on this also.
right.
So our current lease agreement for the central office with the Bennington School District is concluding in June. So we brought this to the BSD board earlier this month to see if we could extend the lease for another year. They obliged. So at this point, we just need authorization for the chair or designee to sign that lease agreement for another year.
Okay, so we're gonna have a motion.
Motion.
To authorize the chair or the vice chair to sign, in case, well, it'll be the chair to sign for a lease, extension of the lease agreement for central office. It's been moved.
I'll second it.
Second. Now open for discussions. Anyone? Renee just mentioned what was happening. We needed an extension of a year at the current location, and if we have no comments, no discussion. Okay. All in favor of that extension for the chair to sign the contract for the
Aye.
Ayes.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, no extensions, okay. Thank you. The next item on here on the finance is Rise Vermont donation to support Family Fitness Fest activities.
So it was approved by MAU, that's where the grant's going, but you are the
Accepted.
grantee, and Laura is here for any questions as she applied for this grant.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I saw your name and.
So I
Okay.
actually, I am one little piece of a team of our teachers that have spearheaded an effort. We're super pleased to be partnering with Rise Vermont. Our district has been the recipient of 4 grants right now. 2 of our elementary schools were able to, Pownell and Molly Stark did mindfulness activities on site that were supported by Rise Vermont grants. We were able to do a full-day Saturday training for 50 teachers and professionals from our area for yoga at Shasbury Elementary School. That was open to anyone. This one is targeted at family engagement, and it will be a community event housed here on May 19th. The goal is to a group of our physical education teachers, health teachers. Elizabeth Strassman actually had a heavy hand in writing this grant with the help of Andrea Milanowski, are hosting this event to raise awareness of health and wellness during the summer months. So the goal is to kick families off into the summer with, look at all these wonderful community resources we have. Please take your kids to visit the biking and hiking trails. So this grant will help to fund some of the materials they need to support the event. So we're thankful.
Well, thank you. And the amount for that, $1,500.
Correct.
For that, so, we have a motion and a second, and if we have any comments, any additional discussion? Hearing none.
No, there was not.
No motion.
Oh, we
There's no
didn't-
motion, I'll make a motion to
Okay,
accept.
Cindy, moved it. Can I get a second? Carl, second it, okay. Been moved and second, and we had a brief discussion, now we'll still have a discussion if we need one concerning the acceptance of the Family Fitness Feast activity grant money of $1,500. No other discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Extensions to it? Oh, okay. Thank you, and thank you, Laura, for writing those grants, and just keep it up. The fifth item is the consent agenda.
Motion to accept.
Moved
Second.
and second to accept the consent agenda is, it's a brief, an agenda, so I always want it, we have ask before we move, we got a motion and a second, and now it's open for a discussion. If we can accept the whole agenda as is, we can have some light discussion for some items that are on there if we want to, and then move on. So what would your pleasure be? Are there any items for discussion?
Nope.
Okay, that makes it easy. Hearing none, then all in favor of the consent agenda, please.
Aye.
Ayes.
Aye.
Any opposed? None. No expense. Thank you. That's indication there's no policy tonight, but we will have a policy meeting on April 1st. It's dedicated to co-curricular activities for that whole meeting. So the Next item on here is the superintendent's report, and we can hear from the superintendent this year.
Good evening. One thing I want to remind everybody about is April 23rd is an important date. It is when the vote will be held in the 4 elementary town districts for the initial board members. So that's the 23rd. We are continuing this dual path of, because we don't know what's going to come out of the legislature or the lawsuit. We know that the Senate did pass a bill that is going to make a local option. If I understand, the initial board could vote to delay a year or to move forward. But that is in contrast to what the House did. So it will go to a joint committee to work out their differences if that's possible, and then some type of a joint bill coming down for may or may not delay this. But from a supervisory union point, Renee and I are moving forward with, thank you, with the budget for the unified, the Union Elementary School District, Southwest Vermont Union Elementary School District. Even I'm having trouble saying it. So, who knows, that initial board first order of business could be a name change. So, as I said, we're continuing with the dual paths. We have our individual budgets approved by the voters. They will be null and void if we move forward past June 30th. A new district is here. Otherwise, we'll be using those. So, and I want to thank the transitional board, which is made up of the clerk and chair of all those elementary boards, because they have endorsed the combined budget that Renee worked so hard to put together. So thank you for that. It's not binding their vote, but it is important that they support it. And initially, it seems all 4 of those elementary school districts were working well together. Recruitment of employees has always been a challenge, where the pool of talent to hire, everything from paraeducators, substitutes to teachers and administrators is limited, and we compete against 2 adjoining states. So we are trying to be a little bit more aggressive with our HR department. Tomorrow, our newest administrator has been asked to join our HR department. So Melissa will be going to Albany to a School of Education job fair for recent graduates. And then next week, HR department and myself and Laura will be going to Keene for another job fair as we try to, and I saw what the display for our booth, I did see that this afternoon. I think it's going to be both fun and informative, and hopefully we'll get some good candidates out of those recruiting drives. So thank you to the HR department for putting those together, and we're looking, as we get invited to others, the schools of education are vetted by our assistant superintendent, letting me know which schools she would prefer that we're hiring from. So the other thing that doesn't have to do with Act 46, but it does have to do with this committee. The Arlington Supervisory Union has asked to meet with me, and once there was a chair designated for the SU. So if Dick France is in fact the chair, then I will be setting up a meeting with the Arlington superintendent, the chair of their SU, and our SU, to begin those talks of what that merger would actually look like. So even though it's a ways off, we really need to begin those negotiations. And what's important for me to repeat, it's not a merger of school districts, it's districts, more additional districts coming under our SU. So that is a difference. It's not like they're joining the new Union Elementary School District. That's a separate thing. So I just want to keep repeating that. And that pretty much is all I have for you tonight, other than I just want to remind everybody that tomorrow is opening day for the Red Sox in Seattle. And it's a big day, and it's worth mentioning.
Okay, thank you. We have on the report I had down for the vice chair, we have superintendent's evaluation summary, and we're going to delay that until we have the chair actually present to do that. Last week, we met in executive session and reviewed the items that we were going to summarize and submit a summative note for the superintendent's file. And that went well. There was no disagreements and items that were reviewed and discussed. And so we think we're headed firmly in the right direction, and we want to continue that way. The next item will be, when Dick is here, we'll be looking to get committee assignments. And I'm hoping he'll get everybody on a committee of some kind to go out here and do something along that line. So I don't know how he wants to do that, but
If he accepts the chair, I will let him know how the other chairs of the other boards have been doing it. They will send an email out here's the committees we have, who we'd like to serve on, and then he could announce that at the next board meeting.
you can start sending him an email and telling him you want to be on a certain committee. I know he sent me a note and said he wanted to be on the policy committee. I don't know why he sent, I'm gonna send him a note now. Okay, so think about those things that we need to do as evaluation committee, and then as a policy committee, and
Finance, budget and
education,
finance.
budget and finance and education. Normally all lumped together. If we needed to separate those out, we could later on. So about 4 committees. And the last item, I just also want to take the opportunity to thank the voters of the Bennington County and the surrounding districts for coming out and voting for all of us that were re-elected and the new members. And all of our budgets passed, and so we have a lot to be thankful for, and thankful for the voters. And so what we want to do is be fruitful and try to do the best job possible in terms of the assignments that we have before us, so that we can keep the continuous streak of goodwill from our voters to support us financially in the future. And now, for others, are there any other items to be discussed? Hearing none, we'll move on, and there were some FYI items on the list, and they're down here, just student enrollment, budget status report, and the FY18 SVSU audit report were posted. So those are the other items that are on here were just for FYI. Is there anything else to come before the board tonight?
Our next meeting is April 24th.
Our next meeting is April
24th.
20.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
I don't know, I probably should know this question, but I don't.
Okay, well, you still can have that question.
So after April 23rd, and all the boards are,
It wouldn't change until July 1.
okay.
So if you're the BSD rep to the SU, you would remain that until June 30th.
Okay, and then what happens then?
So if the 4 elementary boards merge, they will get 3 seats on this board. And Arlington will get 3 seats. MAU will get 3 seats, because the law statute says every operating school district gets 3 seats. North Bennington would get 1, and Sandgate would get 1 when they finally come in. So what we will have to do then is petition, in my opinion, we would petition the state board to amend the agreement that was made in February 2013 that reduced every board to 2 seats with 1 alternate because of the quorum difficulty they were having, and move MAU back to 3 seats, because right now, the new entity would get 3, Arlington will get 3, and MAU still only has 2. So, and that works out to a board of 11, which is what we are. So it would be 3, 3, 3, 1, and 1.
Right. Okay, that was a nice question. Anything else to come before the board? Not? I have a motion
Move
to
to
adjourn.
adjourn.
Second.
Moved and second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.